Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. It means so much to me that anyone at all is watching my videos, so thank you for being here. This is the look that I created today using all Colourpop makeup aside from like 3 things, I think. Yeah, like 3 things were not Colourpop, but everything else was. And I love this look. I used so many of my favorite products, plus I'm showcasing a lot of my other favorites that we didn't use in this look, just so you can see kind of my full collection, my favorites from Colourpop. So if you really like these kind of videos, if you love Colourpop, if you love one brand tutorials, give this video a thumbs up and let me know what you liked about it down below in the comment section. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy and I hope this video is helpful to you in some way. Again, thank you for being here and let's get into it. Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie, I started this look and didn't end up liking it that much. So I have some glitter all over my face. So if you see that, that is why this is take 2. And we're just gonna jump right in. I am gonna start with the eyes today because we are going with a little bit of glitter, as you can see. So I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of the Colourpop concealer to just cancel out and get my lids prepped for some shadow. I'm just doing a really light amount. I don't care if all the, veins are canceled out or anything like that. I'm mostly just trying to make sure the area is prepped. I'm just gonna set that down with a little bit of powder. And then we're gonna start by going into some of their eyeshadow palettes. I have 2 Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. I have the Dream Street palette, which I have had for a very long time and love it a lot. I love the palettes. I think that they are really great quality and price point. I also have the Sweet Talk palette, which I just purchased and have used just a couple times now. The glitters, these like 3 glitters in here are insane. They are so crazy pigmented, and it's crazy. I don't know if you guys know about the I can never say this. I don't know if you guys know about the Super Shock Shadow formula, but that is what the glitters and metallics feel like in the palettes. They almost feel wet and like just extra creamy. So they're incredible. The mattes blend out great, and yeah, I love them. Let's go in with the Sweet Talk palette since I haven't used this one quite as much. Excuse me. Sorry everyone. So I'm gonna go in with Work It, this transition shade up in the corner here, and I'm just using a big fluffy brush. I'm going to apply that into more of my high crease area. I'm just doing a light wash of color, nothing crazy, just to sort of make sure that everything is blending into the eye with a good gradient. Now taking just a little bit of a smaller brush, I'm gonna go into West Side. I really like this shade a lot. I'm gonna start this on the outer corner to sort of build up the color there, and then slowly drag it up into the crease as well. Really like this shade. And then same thing on the other eye. Just going back in and kind of re-blending, re-intensifying that shade a little more. And then whenever you need to go back in with your original brush, you can take a little bit more of your first shade and just buff over the edges just to soften everything up. Okay, now that we have that sort of base structure down for the eye look, I'm gonna go in with our lid shade. We have to go in with a Super Shock Shadow for the lid shade. We just have to. The Super Shock Shadow formula is amazing. Like I was saying, it's so creamy that it almost feels wet, and the payoff is just incredible. There are a couple different finishes, I would say, of the Super Shock Shadow, so that's something to be aware of. When I first ordered, I expected them all to be super opaque and just very pigmented, but not all of them are. Some of them are super pigmented and a little bit reflective, and then some of them are super glittery and reflective and more of just a top coat than having a very strong base color, if that makes any sense. I have a few different shades here, but I'm just going to show you a few of my favorites. Okay, first is this shade Lightning Bug, which is one of the ones that is extremely pigmented, metallic, and glittery all at the same time. Love that one if you love that kind of rustic copper looking color. So pretty on green eyes. This is like so stunning. Okay, then next up we have the shade Waddles. And this doesn't look like a whole lot, but something about it just gives you the perfect one and done eyeshadow look. I just will put this on with my fingertip and then just use a clean brush and buff out the edges, and it just looks incredible. It's got sort of a mauve-y, brown, purple, gray, I don't know, shift to it. It's sort of matte, but I mean a little bit satin. You can see there's a little shine there. So I love that one. Okay, then next up we have the shade Frog, which is one of the ones where the base isn't as strong, but the glitter and the metallic reflect in here is insane. So I love that one. I love that on top of Waddles. These two paired together are extremely pretty. Okay, and then the last one we have here is Ritz. It's actually a really similar formula to Frog, this previous one, where it's just extremely glittery, reflective, but not the most strong base coat. The biggest difference between these two is Frog is going to be a little bit more of a pinky undertone or like a taupey undertone. And then Ritz is a little bit more of a golden or brown undertone. Love these four. And then the one we're going to use today is called Rem. I am obsessed with this one as well. I haven't worn it out or anything. It is just the most beautiful kind of periwinkle blue. It has a little bit of a purple shift to it, and I think it is stunning. So that is what that one looks like. And I'm just going to take this straight onto the eyelid. Sometimes with these shades it is nice to have a base down, so you could do something like that, but I think with this one we should be good with the pigment to just go straight onto the eye. Oh, it's so pretty. So I'm just packing this all over, all the way from the lash line up to the crease. And then same thing on the other side, but I'm taking my pointer finger from the other hand just so it's easier to get the same angle as my other eye. And I'm just going to do the same thing. And you can just see like how stunning that is. It looks like my lids are wet and just glowing and glistening, and the shift with the color in this is so pretty. Now that we have that down, I am going to deepen up the outer corner using the shade, what does it say? Feel Free. It's kind of a purpley color. I think that'll be pretty with the purples that are in the lid shade. And then same thing on the other side. I'm just sort of packing that on close to the lash line first, and then slowly packing it up towards the crease, but not all the way into the crease. And then I'll go back into our other transition shades just to make sure that everything is blended nice and smooth. So first taking West Side, and then going back in with Work It. One other product from the eyes that I wanted to mention is the Colourpop BFF Cream Gel Liners. They are so creamy and pigmented, and you can blend them out, but they're also really budge proof once they kind of dry down. So I have two shades. My hand is full of swatches. I'll just do this on my wrist. Okay, we've got the shade Mr. Bing, which is sort of a metallic-y copper brown color. And then the shade DTLA, which is this nice deep navy blue. So since we've got a little bit of blue going on, we're gonna go in with DTLA, and I'm just gonna line just kind of a straight line from the inner to outer corner on both eyes. Then I'm just gonna go back into our lid shade, even just tapping it over the liner a little bit, just to really make sure that that's nice and bold and bright. Almost dropped it. I really need to get some makeup wipes in here because my arms with these swatches are just becoming a total mess. Taking that same liner that we were using before, I'm gonna line the waterline on the lower lash line. I feel like this will give a nice pretty effect and tie in the top lash line to the bottom. Those go on literally so easy. I don't know if you saw that. That took me like 5 seconds. And then to really kind of make sure that that dark shade is like blended into the transition shades, I'm going to go back into our deepest matte purple shade and use this right almost on top of that liner, just wiggling it back and forth all the way from inner to outer. And then same thing on the other side. Then I'm just going to sort of mix these other two transition shades just to kind of simplify everything and just buff that along the edges of those shades. Okay, I love where everything is at. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Super Shock Cheek, which is their cheek highlighter, kind of with the same Super Shock shadow formula. This is in the shade Lunch Money. I really love this as a highlighter, especially on my fair skin. I am gonna use this just on a small brush and highlight the inner corner really quick. Something about this creamy formula on the face just looks so natural, so much better than like a powder in my opinion. And you can see even here, like it's bright, but it's not like in your face like metallic, and I don't like that on my cheeks, so this kind of formula is like perfect for me for every day. Okay, now that the eyes are looking pretty good, I'm gonna go ahead and do my mascara and my brows off camera. I don't have the Colourpop mascara or brow products. I haven't heard anything great about the brow products. I haven't heard anything negative either necessarily, but it's not something that people are like raving about, and I feel like brow products are so personal. I didn't really want to buy one if I didn't think I was gonna like it already. The Colourpop mascara I've heard good good things about. I just don't have it because I'm working on other mascaras. When I do that, we'll be right back. Okay, so the eyes are a little bit more pulled together now. We just need to balance everything out with the face makeup. So let's just go in with foundation because I'm not one to really use primers. Once I have my skincare prepped, I feel like that is good enough for me. So we're gonna go in with the Colourpop No Filter Stick Foundation. I've heard that the No Filter foundation is usually less preferred by most people than the stick, so this is the one that I picked up. I have the shade Fair 25W, which I think is a little bit light for me now because I got a little bit of color when I was out of town a few weeks ago, but it shouldn't be too bad. I've applied this like 2 or 3 times to the skin, and I found that the way that I like applying it most is grabbing it directly with a brush and then applying it to my skin by buffing it with the brush. When I just apply it straight onto the skin and try to blend it out, I feel like I end up with too much product and it looks a little bit heavy. So this is my preferred way of doing it, and I feel like the coverage and finish is really great. So I'm just gonna take this is an e.l.f. foundation blurring brush, and just kind of coat the brush like this. And then I'll slowly start to just sort of push that into the skin, and then I'll buff around a little bit as well. You can already see like what a difference that makes. Good finish, very natural, I would say, like a little bit more matte on me, I think. I think it looks really, really nice. I feel like this is definitely like a buildable formula too, as long as you're kind of pressing it into the skin. So when I put down my initial layer, I kind of just press and work around like this. I will buff a little bit as well just to make sure that we have a good finish with no like harsh lines or anything. And then if you want to add more, you can if you just kind of press it over the top. There have been so many fire trucks and ambulances. It's kind of scary, like I passed 2 in one day going opposite directions. It always just makes me so sad. Okay, I like where we're at there. You can kind of see the finish looks good. I like a nice medium coverage, and I feel like that's what this is giving me. Still very skin-like and not too heavy at all. Okay, and then for concealer, it is the No Filter Concealer. Is that what this is called? Yes. Mine is in the shade Fair 04. I really like this concealer. It is definitely more on the matte side, and it is very high coverage, I would say, but not extremely like thick feeling, so it's not necessarily like a Shape Tape. If you felt like the Catrice Liquid Camo Concealer, that is a little bit more of the consistency or texture of this one. The one thing you do have to know is that it does kind of dry down really quickly, so I would say either work off the back of your hand with a brush or just apply on one area and then blend it right out immediately after. I'm just going to apply this to the back of my hand. That's sort of the way I apply most concealers. I am just gonna go in with my sponge and pick up just a tiny bit at a time, and then just work around the areas of my face that I want to sort of brighten or further conceal. So then just the tiniest bit, I'm gonna go down the nose. It's harder with a sponge to go straight down the nose, but just start with a little bit of product at a time. That does so much for me. I just love it. And I'll go under the eyes. Just be careful if you have done your eyeshadow first that you don't accidentally pounce your concealer over top of it. Covers so nicely, and I've barely used any product at all, which is so nice. I look so pale. I feel like I've been wearing a little bit deeper products lately, so I look really pasty right now. I don't have the Colourpop setting powder. I just picked up the Glossier Wowder and have been really liking that, and I don't really feel the need to buy any more powders right now, and I haven't heard, again, like the best things about it. Nothing negative, but nothing super positive either. So I'm just gonna go in with my Wowder, just really lightly, and set just right where I have the creases under my eyes and just over my large pores. And same thing on the other side. And then I'm fine with a little bit of shine, so I think I'm just gonna leave the rest of the face how it is. The other thing I don't have is a bronzer. I thought about getting the foundation stick in a deeper shade, but I had bought so many things that I was like, I probably need to pull back a little bit. So I'm just gonna use a different bronzer as well. This is the Thrive Cosmetics, what is this called? Thrive Cosmetics Sun Chaser Bronzer in the shade Rhea. I did a video trying out a couple things from Thrive. I'll link that down below if you'd like to see that, because I really, really like Thrive. But I'm just bronzing the normal areas of this face. Hopefully I'm not going too heavy-handed, but I do want a little bit of color because I'm looking super, super pasty. I'll take the tiniest bit just on the sides of my nose, not down very low, a little just to add that color in. I'm not trying to like really sculpt or anything, just trying to make sure that my nose doesn't look stark white against the rest of my face. Now, I have a couple different blush products, so I'm going to pull those out and we're going to talk about those really quick. I grabbed the new Colourpop Sticks blushes. I got 2 shades. Okay, this is the shade Mini Me, kind of a soft like pinky coral. I put that in such a weird spot. And then this is the shade, whoa, excuse me. This is the shade 25-8. It is a little bit more of a true kind of coral color. I have been really, really enjoying this formula. I feel like it's super, super soft and skin-like, but still gives you that nice kind of even flush of color. So we're gonna use one of these today. I also have the Colourpop Pressed Powder Cheek Blush from Kathleen Lights. This one is this I Need Space? I can't remember for sure. This is super pretty too. Maybe we'll top off everything with this so you can see this a little bit. This is the most unique kind of color. Kathleen formulated this to look like an eyeshadow that she has in her Zodiac palette. It's a little bit sheeny, kind of a nude color. Nothing too crazy like bright or anything, but it's a really, really cool kind of color and finish. So maybe we'll put that on top. I'm trying to decide which color we should do. I almost feel like that will be too bright, even though they're not quite as bright as they look in the tube. Yeah, let's use this one. So we're gonna use 25-8. And I'm going to take this on my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. I'm just gonna kind of fluff that in a little bit. And then we'll just really gently kind of stamp that on. And you can already see like so pretty. I love these. I feel like they wear well too. I wouldn't say they're the like most long wearing thing. I feel like the blush bombs from Flower might be a little bit more long wearing, but still like so easy to blend out, such a good finish, and a really good color selection as well. I would say better color selection than the Flower ones for sure. I kind of like where the cheeks are at right there. I'm a little bit scared to add more blush because this pressed blush is extremely pigmented and it's easy to go overboard. And with my eyes being so intense, I kind of just want to leave that as it is. Okay, then moving on to highlight. Colourpop has a lot of different highlight formulas. I already showed you Lunch Money. The Super Shock Cheek formula is really, really nice. Let me just swatch that on my arm for you. Okay, so there's that. If you can see, just a nice kind of natural color. I love the undertone of it because it's super neutral. It's not like pink or golden or anything like that. And it's very like fair toned, and so it's pretty beaming but still very natural, like I said, and just kind of dewy looking. They also have some pressed highlight formulas. Apparently there's a highlight palette that's really good. I didn't buy that because I feel like palettes go to waste a lot because I can usually only use like 1 or 2 of the 6 shades. But they also just came out with the Colourpop Sticks Light Sticks. That makes more sense. I got 2 shades. This one right here is in Star Bright, and this one right here is in Earth. They are really, really pretty. This one has more of a purpley undertone, and then this one seems just a little bit more kind of like neutral champagne, but they're very, very bright and blinding. I think we'll use Star Bright, the more neutral shade today, just because we have so much going on the eyes. I don't want any crazy colors or anything, but I am not sure how I want to apply this to the skin. If I should just like swipe it on. That's not really my style. I really like the Colourpop small fluff brush for highlighting, so maybe I'll try to use it with this. So I'm just gonna dip in and kind of pick a little bit up on the brush like this, and then slowly kind of really gently swirl it in. Ooh, this one does have a little bit of glitter in it. Wow, you can really see it on my forehead. Holy crap. Ooh, I might have went a little crazy there. Yikes. Okay, and then we'll apply some on the other side, just swirling that into the tops of the cheekbones. And then on the forehead, hopefully not as much as I did on the other side. And then kind of connecting that around the brow a little bit. Don't know if you can really see, but there's definitely some glitter in that. We'll go down the nose a little bit, on the Cupid's bow, as well as a little bit just on the chin, but on the upper part of the chin right there. Ooh, I really like this, and on camera I feel like it looks so pretty and wet. Definite glitters in here, so I don't know if this would be like an everyday highlighter for a lot of people, but it is really pretty if you're very into highlight. I would say that the Super Shock Cheek is a little bit more of a better everyday highlight for me personally, but this does look really pretty, blended out super easily with a brush, and I really like it. Okay, I'm just gonna put on a little bit of lip balm before we go in with our lip. That way I can get some of the face makeup off, but also just sort of hydrate the lips and prep them so that they stay like nice and hydrated and not like crunchy looking by the end of the day. I always like to have a thin layer of lip balm on underneath any lip product that I wear. Then I have so many lip products from Colourpop. I feel like the lips and the eyes are what they've been doing the longest, if I'm not mistaken, and it is what they have the most range in. So let me show you a couple of things that I have. I only have one of their lippy pencils. This is their lip liner. This is the one in BFF, a really, really good everyday nude if you are my skin tone or lighter. It's sort of neutral, a little bit on the brown side, but still kind of pink as well. So it can work with a wide range of colors, whether it's very nude, brown, pink, kind of anything. It will be a good base lip liner for you. They have a ton of colors of the lippy pencils. BFF also has BFF 2, 3, and maybe 4 that are kind of the same color but a little bit deeper in tone. So if you are darker than me, you can opt for those for a good kind of everyday nude. I have one of their lippy sticks, which are really, really nice actually. This is in the shade Aquarius. Aquarius is a beautiful one. Kathleen Lights made this, kind of like a nudie pink color. The lippy sticks are really, really nice because they're very creamy. You can do like a really sheer layer and they look nice, or kind of build them up as well. In the hot climate, they are a little bit melty at the moment, so be careful of that. Like carrying them around in your purse or leaving them in a hot car, I would be very careful of. I also have the Aquarius lip gloss. I love their lip gloss formula. Another lip gloss I have is Moonchild, another classic, just a really good kind of nude color. So there's that. There's lots of other glitters on my hand, but it is very, very pretty. A good nude kind of to top any color or just your bare lips. I have two of the Ultra Satin lips. I really like the Ultra Satin lip formula because it's a little bit like, has a dry down finish, but not so dry that your lips look crusty by the end of the day, and they aren't like completely transfer proof or anything, but they leave you with good color. This one is in Dreamy and this one is in Rêve. They've been on my hand for a minute and you can kind of see now how they dry down, and they are very, very pretty on the skin, very comfortable, very wearable, long wearing as well, and I love those ones for the deeper kind of more bright shades. Then I have two of the Luxe lipsticks. One is a matte finish and one is a velvet blur. I've worn both of these and I really, really like them. This one's in Electric Feel. This is the matte finish, so it's a little bit more pigmented and creamy, but the matte is very comfortable, still wears really well throughout the day. And then this is Hey Mr. DJ. This is in their blotted formula, which I really like. If you can see, it doesn't have quite the same like payoff with the pigment. It's still very pigmented though, but it looks like your lip color, or not, it doesn't look like your lip color. It looks like your lips just have nothing on them and that they are whatever color the lipstick is, because it's not like a thick amount of product on the lip. So I love that formula. Then I have this So Juicy Plumping Gloss. This one is in the shade Beechwood. This is so pretty. This color too is so good for any time when you want to just have like the juiciest looking lips. It looks kind of brownish orange, but this makes your skin, even my hand right here has like a glass-like appearance. Yes, so this is really pretty and I absolutely love this color. It is plumping, so it's kind of minty, not super tingly or anything. It's not like I don't know. I don't love plumping glosses because I don't feel like they really do a whole lot aside from make my lips either like tingly or like icy cold, but the mint in this does feel good and smell good and everything like that, and that is what that looks like. So I absolutely love that. For today's look, of course, I want to go with something a little bit more neutral, so I'm going to start with the BFF lip liner and just line my lips. I thought this was a twist up, but you do have to sharpen this. Wow, I have lipstick everywhere. So that is one thing to keep in mind when you buy these. Okay, and I actually just filled in my lips entirely with that shade, and even that is just like a really, really pretty color, especially for this look. Now I'm trying to decide, I think I'm just going to top it off with a gloss because I don't have like a lighter nude color, which is what I would prefer to wear with a look like this. Because I've worn Moonchild so much, I think I'll go in with the So Plumping Gloss or whatever. No, So Juicy Plumping Gloss in Beechwood, so you can really see that one because the finish on this is incredible. My lips are very like dry and cracked and chapped kind of like all the time. So I don't know if you can see just like what that did, but it's so pretty. And even on its own, like a lot of days, I won't wear a lot of makeup. I'll just do a little concealer, powder, blush, and then throw that lippy on, and oh, and brows, of course, and mascara. But just throw that little lip gloss on my bare lips, and it looks so good. And I think this looks so pretty. I'm so excited about it on top of that lip liner. I've never worn it just like that combo before, and it looks really, really good. Back to the lip liner for 1 second. I do have to say I'm in love with the LA Girl like Ultimate Glide On whatever lip liners, but I think the Colourpop Lippy Pencil might top them for me because it's just the perfect balance of kind of a more stiff formula and creamy at the same time. You get a lot of color payoff, but you're not like so much color that you're slipping and sliding and making a ton of mistakes all over your lips. So it's a little bit easier to like line them more precisely with these than it is with the LA Girl ones. So I really, really like these, but I think that is it. I feel really good about everything. Hopefully this kind of helped you just to see a rundown on all things Colourpop. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up if you did, and let me know if you'd like to see more things from Colourpop on me or more one brand tutorials on my channel. I really enjoyed filming this today, and I really, really like the look that we came up with, so hopefully this was helpful for you. And thank you so, so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.